Hey, welcome back to the channel. I'm Steve, your host, and in today's episode of the M4A1 from DML, I'm going to show you the completed build. I'm going to tell you some of the things that I did to it, give you some things I didn't like, and then I'm going to get it into the paint barn, and I'll show you that in the next video. You guys, thanks for stopping by. Enjoy the day. Thank you. Okay, here we have Dragon's M4A1, the original one they put out back in 1996. I've got the build completed, or at least as far as I'm going to go before I get it into the paint booth. I'm going to add some stowage offline. In the future, I'll do an episode on how I make simple bags and tarps. I think you can get a lot out of that. What I want to do now is I just want to go over it. You're going to see some broken pieces on the kit. I am going to replace those. It's just as I handle it, stuff happens. We've all been there. So I just want to start with, I want to show you the fix I did on the transmission cover. What I did was let me get it here in view here. I just put a piece of evergreen styrene in there and kind of trimmed it and sanded it to fit. I think once it paints up, it's going to look okay. It's going to look a lot better than what was there before. With the Dragon M4s, I'm always disappointed. I built a number of them. I'm always disappointed with the upper and lower fit, and especially here once you get the transmission cover on. So that needs a bit of work. You can see at some point I broke that. I've got something in the spares box to replace that with, the headlight guard. So I'm not really worried about that. Bit disappointing, but hey, it happens. On the hatches, I wasn't quite sure if the hatches had periscope covers. The way they looked, I wasn't sure. So I added some out of some sheet styrene. And I think that's going to look okay once it's painted up. I've got these guys closed down, so ideally the periscopes would be up, and I think the periscope covers show that. The other thing I was kind of disappointed about, I needed to come up with a 50 caliber, or as Chieftain says, the caliber 50. I was surprised they gave you the ring mount, but they didn't give you the actual M2 Browning. So that was something I added out of the spares box. Not a big deal, but I thought that was, Sherman's always had a Browning on them. So I thought that was disappointing that wasn't included in the kit. There is some photo etch that's going to go here and here. And again, I'm going to put those on just before the paint barn because I'll end up knocking those off. I added a bit of sheet styrene here for the blade sight. It has, and I'm not sure, I don't know. It's got a periscope cover, but normally this is the gunner's sight, and there's usually some type of armored cover over that. I'm going to have to dig back into my reference books and see just if this had it or not. I think on the Tasca one it did. So, but either way, I'll do something with it. The thing I've got to do is just think about how to get rid of these holes, or whether these holes were there regardless. So I need to just jump back into the references. I think you've heard me say this before. Not a big fan of individual track links, especially with the Shermans. You end up with 3 pieces per link by the time you have the track and end guides. Went downstairs. I've got a ton of Sherman parts, and I found some rubber block. Sorry about that. I went back downstairs, found a rubber band set of tracks. Think these guys will do the part. They're a bit tight, so I went down. I also glued the suspension in place. Again, workable suspensions with tight tracks don't always work out that well because you end up with this lifting and you end up with that lifting, and it just doesn't look right. But I'm happy with the way it looks. I just dropped my Commander figure. What I had in my spares box is the old Tamiya the old Tamiya Tank Commander from their M4, and put him on the back deck there. He actually looks pretty good. So I've got some cleanup I'm going to need to do on him, and I'm going to pop him in the turret. The other thing I found was in my references, the way Dragon has you put the split hatch on, I'm pretty sure is reversed. I've looked at a number of references and a number of kits that I have. If you go by the instructions, they have this piece here and this piece here, which the way the hatch is orientated or the split ring is orientated isn't correct. I've got them on the correct way with the caliber 50 in the back. The barrel clamp there, that is correct on that side, and this is correct on that side. So again, like anything, you just need to be careful. Build with references, and you'll always get a better build. I'm trying to think what else I've got going here. I think one more thing I had to do. I have never seen a Sherman transmission cover without shackle mounts. I was very surprised that this didn't come with them. Normally they're either formed into the kit or they're a piece that you need to apply to it. I had these from the Tasca kit because I used the 3-bolt, the 3-piece transmission cover on it, and these are specifically for fully cast. So again, 1996, it's still a good kit, but I'm a bit disappointed that I needed to get into my spares box for a caliber 50 and the towing shackle, mounts. That was a bit disappointing. Overall, it's been a fun build. It's gone pretty quick. It wasn't a box full of pieces like some of the later Shermans are. I recommend this kit only if you can get it at a really good price. And I mean like under 20 bucks or 20 euros, because there are far better kits out there for the M4A1. I think Border Models is doing them. I want to say even Tacom is out there doing them. Tasca from, I think it's 2007, is an incredible kit even now. So there are a lot better kits than this. Just if you can get this at a really good price and you've got a pretty good spares box and you don't mind tinkering, go ahead and get this, but I wouldn't pay full price for this. So what's going to happen next is, what I'm going to do is, I am going to do some stowage on this. I'm going to do this as a Sherman in Italy, and I think that's when you started seeing Shermans being stowed. North Africa, not so much, but certainly later on in the war, these guys became gypsy caravans. So I'm going to get some stowage. I'm going to create a video to show you how I do some stowage. Once I get the stowage on this one, I'm going to shoot the whole thing black, come back in with some olive drab and some desert yellow. I'm going to put the camo scheme on for Weenie 1, which is on the box art, just to give it a bit of color. Normally Shermans are just olive drab. So we'll dress it up a bit. Thank you guys for stopping by. You guys take care, and I'll see you in the next video. All right then. Thank you.